Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Cam and welcome to my review for Angel Has Fallen. This movie was directed by Rick Roman Waugh and it stars Gerard Butler, Morgan Freeman, Danny Huston, and Nick Nolte. This is the third in the Has Fallen trilogy, which also includes Olympus Has Fallen and London Has Fallen. And it picks up on the titular hero, Rick Banning, played by Gerard Butler. This time around, he is accused of trying to assassinate the president, played by Morgan Freeman. Banning must lie low and figure out who the real criminal is. I like the first two Has Fallen movies. I did legitimately enjoy Olympus Has Fallen, and London Has Fallen was enjoyable in a so-bad-it's-good way. In the end of the day, these movies are not meant to be smart or nuanced. They're just made for Gerard Butler to kick literally all the ass, and he does just that. But I think the biggest compliment that I could give to Angel Has Fallen was, it was there. It exists. It's enjoyable enough, but it sets up a lot of subplots that could have easily made this movie a whole lot better than it actually was. First, the good. Gerard Butler. He is always great in these movies. He always gives 350% in these movies. I've seen a ton of interviews with him. He seems like a very nice guy. And so whenever I see him in one of these, it's like, alright, well at least Butler will be enjoyable. And he is. I think he's gone past the age now where he won't be starring in any A24 films or anything that will be nominated for Oscars or will be critically acclaimed. I think for the rest of his career, he will just be resigned to doing these dumb action movies. I think he will be in at least one of the Expendables movies. Don't laugh at me, you know that would happen. I also really enjoyed Morgan Freeman, but it's Morgan Freeman. He's one of the best actors of our time. Unfortunately, he's not on screen very much, but when he is on screen, he is legitimately very good. And I am not quite sure about this, but I don't think Nick Nolte knew he was even being filmed. I'm pretty sure the studio was like, alright, we need an older white guy. Who do we have? Daniel Day-Lewis is retired. Nick Nolte, let's try him. Well, the last time we checked, he was in the woods somewhere. We'll find him. Nolte does have the best scene in the movie, though, when he and Butler are being attacked, and Nolte has set up these mines all around his, I want to say shack, but I think that may be a little too generous. But in any case, he tells Butler to yank on this chain, and so Butler yanks on this chain, and I think about 100 pounds of C4 blows up, and it just knocks down the entire hillside. And Butler just looks at him like, really? And Nolte's like, you're welcome. I have nothing left to say. That was just awesome. Now let's talk about what I didn't like. Mainly the action. Don't get me wrong, there's a couple of surprisingly decent action scenes in this movie, but they're near the beginning. At the final battle, it's just not filmed very well at all. There's smoke everywhere, there's a ton of action going on, and it's just not filmed very well. And the CGI, oh my god, the CGI at the final battle at the end of this movie makes London Has Fallen look like Jurassic Park. And yes, I know what I say when I say that, but it's true. And then there's the plot. The plot of this movie is basically straight out of the 90s, or 2016. I'll just leave it at that. Basically, the whole reason why this movie is happening, and I'm going to say this in about as vague a way as possible, is because of Russians and hacking. Yes. And I get it, you know, we're living in a time where Orange Man bad. I get that. But there is a subplot in this movie that would have made this movie far more interesting than it actually was. Basically, without going into too much detail, Butler's character is developing a bit of a painkiller addiction. And he and the villain of the movie, played by Danny Huston, are mutual friends, and they're kind of going through the same thing. Whenever Butler and Huston were on screen together, that was by far the most interesting part of the movie, and I wanted that to be the main crux of it. But, because Orange Man bad, you have to have Russians and hacking in there somewhere. At the end of the day, I just felt like Angel Has Fallen was kind of empty and forgettable. This movie felt like about 90% of Netflix's original movies. I will always like Gerard Butler, Morgan Freeman, and Nick Nolte, and yes, Danny Houston. And I hope that all of them get better work, and I honestly hope that the director gets more work after this. But this movie just was... it was bland, and it could have been so much more. But that's all for me, guys. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. My name is Ryan Cam, and I'll see you in the next one.